It's the National Football League on EA Sports, where we'll see two of the NFL's oldest and most storied franchises. It's the Washington Commanders and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Coming up next.
Well, to the locals, it's still and will always be Heinz Field. But for the rest of us, we're along the North Shore, the Allegheny and Ohio Rivers at Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Up in the booth alongside Brock Huard, I'm Kate Scott, and we are grateful to be up here today because, well, it's been raining pretty heavily all day, and that's certainly going to make it challenging to operate if you're either one of these offenses, Brock.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point, Kate. Now, hopefully you practice this week knowing some rain was in the forecast. Hopefully everybody on the sidelines, the umpire on the field, and all the footballs they will use today shuttling in and out, you can have that grip. And I'll also say this, keep an eye on the gloves. That technology helps these players in these environments more than certainly players of the past. Quarterbacks, receivers, running backs, everybody got to handle that ball carefully today.
Well, this weather is not cooperating as we're set to go. And we're underway from Pittsburgh. It's Deebo Samuel with the return. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. So the Commanders' offense headed out for their opening drive. Bringing them out to the second overall pick back in 2015 out of Oregon, Marcus Mariota.
I know quarterbacks of this ilk sure excite their teammates. They love to see his explosion and that speed come to life. I also know this, Kate, that defensive coordinator on the other side, he did not sleep good all week long, knowing he could do everything right, have the right call. But that QB speed is a difference maker.
So their offense out now to get this game started. Escapes the pocket. He'll try and run this.
Tick, 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 tick. You know, his internal clock right there told him it was time to escape, and good thing he listened.
It's 2nd and 5.
Set, ready, check white.
From the 29. Dumped off to his running back. And he'll be met near the line to limit the gain to a yard. Darius Slay with the stop.
As an offense, you don't call a screen, Kate, expecting to gain just a few yards. You call it expecting to break out something big and substantial. But it's up to that defense to stay ahead of it, to keep it contained to something much smaller. Case in point right there.
3rd down from the gun. Dump off caught by his back. And not much doing. He stopped quickly.
Those little short throws, they are high percentage and certainly bread and butter. But they really run the risk of a quick tackle just like that and being stopped short of the sticks.
Commanders punting on 4th down, and they're going to bring out the ever-reliable lefty vets, Tress Way. And he drives this one into the pouring rain. And a sure-handed play there in the rain. He brings in the fair catch without a problem. So here are the Steelers now, taking over for the first time. They're led out by one of the game's most tenured veterans and most decorated quarterbacks of all time, Aaron Rodgers.
I think it's safe to say, Kate, Aaron Rodgers may be one of the most polarizing figures in the NFL, but there is nobody that will question his ability to spin a football different than everybody else. Just ask his receivers, tight ends, running backs, anybody that's ever played with him. He elevates their game, and he often elevates his own game to an MVP kind of level.
He's on the move. He's keeping it. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
New set of downs for him at the 38. Now running for the first time with Jaylen Warren. And that's only 1 yard up the middle. Gonna be 2nd down.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, Rodgers gets this one to Cordarrelle Patterson. It looks like we can call it about 4 yards in the end. It was Mike Sanders still on that stop. So after that completion, we've got a player in some visible discomfort. And here come the trainers to get him some help. We're coming up now. Rodgers here from the gun. It's tipped away and it's going to hit the ground incomplete. Defender winning that rep. That brings up 4th down.
Perhaps a bit late breaking towards the ball, but still just enough time to get a finger on it and knock it away.
On 4th down, it's Corliss Waitman on for the Steelers to punt this away. And this will put an end to the drive after it's stalled out. That one hits at the 6, but can't check up. It gets into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Washington offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Throwing is Mariota. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. Darius Slay has it. And the Steelers return the interception close to the red zone. He's stopped inside the 25. He got in front of that one for the pick. Looked like that's the receiver it was designed to go to on that play, too.
Yeah, the QB just must have missed the lurky defender in coverage right there. That's where, as a QB, you've got to have the vision to not just see your route, but see those defenders in front of it. If you stare down your receivers in this league, turnovers follow.
The Steeler offense out and ready to go for their 2nd drive. And they're set up well inside of enemy territory. They've got a short field after that pick. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Pressure comes, Rodgers. It's caught Metcalf. And he gets this down inside the red zone before going out.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a 1st down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. From the 19. Got Washington, it's complete. And they'll advance this down to the 5-yard line. That's a gain of 13, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. Here's Rodgers. Getting out to... This time they're going to get there, and they drop it. And the pressure drives them backwards.
Pretty even match in this 1st half, and you're just kind of waiting, right? You just kind of try to get a feel for which defense is going to come to life. And when you get that sack, that could go a long way to infusing some energy on that side of the ball.
Second and goal coming up from the 7. Working out of the gun, it's Rodgers. Buys time, rolling right. And they will score. Touchdown, Pittsburgh! The Steelers pick it off and get points on the ensuing drive. Aaron Rodgers with the touchdown. Great play by the QB there, Brock. The play broke down. He didn't have much of a choice other than to escape and improvise. And in the end, turned out to be the best call he could have made.
It is such a necessary tool in today's NFL for that QB to put right in his tool belt, Kate. You know, in my day, you could be a blacksmith, right? You just do the job and stay in the pocket. Not anymore. You got to be an artist. And you got to be an artist that can create when things break down. And that's big time to get a touchdown out of it as well.
On to send this away. Starting from the 5. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Washington ready to go on offense as they take the field. And it's far from the first time we're seeing this unit head out, Brock. But what we haven't seen so far in this opening half, well, we haven't seen much in terms of yardage.
No, it's like they've written a few lyrics, but nowhere close to a song yet.
They're out and set, 1st and 10. Interception last drive doesn't deter them. They're going right back to the air. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on first down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for second down. Third and short in your back pocket. You can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
Here's Travis Etienne on the ground. The defenders are there to get him at the line. Minkah Fitzpatrick in on the stop. No gain on second down, and they need 2 here on third.
Where one defender failed, well, his buddy was there to swarm to the ball and make that play just as it gets to the line of scrimmage.
Short yardage situation here. It's 3rd and 2. Mariota. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Tough one to retain through that hit. And that leaves them with a decision to make on 4th and short.
Defender's not going to be thrilled the catch was almost made on his watch, but more importantly, he breaks it up. Gives him a chance to do a little jawing after the play. Lets the other guy know he roughed him up and cost him that catch.
And hey, at least he held onto the football, but they will get nothing on that return. So no return on that punt. And the Steelers will take over possession. The Steeler offense set to get back on the field. And their goal is going to be doubling that 7-0 lead they have so far. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Now Rodgers. That's going to be caught by Washington. And he'll have a small 4-yard chunk there. Winky Louvu there for the tackle.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on first down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
2nd and 6 coming up here. From the 27. Into the hands of Pat Freiermuth. And he's going to go out of bounds. Looks a little short of the 35.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, you just find a way to get him the ball.
Now Rodgers on 3rd and short. And that one's too far in front of him, so now they're facing 4th down.
I'll say this, unless you're committed to going for it on 4th down, I just don't see why you throw it there. Just power it forward for half a yard and reset those chains, then take your shots further down the field.
The Steelers set to punt it. And he wants to hit his 2nd effort just as well as he hit his 1st. Absolutely crushed his 1st punt, and here's another huge one. And he puts together a nice little return there before they're able to bring him down. It's a 61-yard punt that time. And the Commanders will go on offense. First and 10 now from the 30. Drive starts with an option, right side. And he found some running room for a nice gain. It's an 8-yard pickup, and they're going to have 2nd and 2 next.
The difference right there, Kate, between that gain and a big hit for a loss, some really quick decision-making. He made a quick read, saw the running back was going to get hit if he handed it, and he pulls it himself for a positive gain.
An option give here to Etienne. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
That offensive group really hoped he was going to get it all right there, reset it back to 1st down. But instead, defense, well, they're not going to let anything come easy. And their fight is giving them a chance to stall things out on 3rd and short.
Here we go, 3rd and less than a yard. Etienne again. And that short gain is enough for a new set of downs.
That is your old school meat and potatoes call right there. Don't even think about throwing it. Just rush it ahead and get what you need.
1st and 10 from the 41. Mariota to throw. Able to find Ertz. And they're going to bring him down just on the other side of midfield. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, first down.
I love throwing on first down. And when you see a first down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you plan for, and you go out and execute.
First and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. From the gun, ETN gets it. And this is pushed ahead for a gain of 5. Patrick Queen ranging in for the tackle. Give him 5 on that carry, bringing up 2nd and 5.
That run's not going to turn many heads, but at the end of the year, I promise you, if you average over 5 yards a run, you can be a Pro Bowler.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Now he'll throw off the play fake. Bails out of the pocket quick. He takes it himself. And they make the stop, we're going to say it about the 37-yard line. Call it 7 yards on the play, and that's enough for the first down.
You know, that's one of those little mental Rolodex plays. Right before the snap, you know if the read isn't there, that option isn't there, you can use your legs to make the adjustment and go get the first down.
Here's ETN on first down. And he gets this one down to the 30-yard line. Good run, gets him 7. That brings up 2nd and 3. They won't snap it in time. That is going to be the end of the first quarter. Neither side separating much so far. More from Acrisure Stadium after the break. Time now for the second quarter. Commanders in possession. They're advancing it well as they face 2nd down. Has it at the 7. Touchdown, Washington. Well, Brock, that proved a little too tough to stick to. Turns out it was the right route to get a touchdown on that play.
Yeah, those corner routes can be some high risk at times, but big-time rewards. Think about this for a second, Kate. We talk all the time about the efficiency of a slant route and in breaking, that angle breaking in. Right, higher completion rate, you're throwing something breaking in. You have a corner that breaks out. Obviously, the efficiency may not be there, but boy, touchdowns and big touchdowns can follow when the two stay connected.
Matt extra point sent in through the rain. And the Commanders tie this game 7-7. Kickoff. Cordarrelle Patterson now to return. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. Now the offense getting set to go for the Steelers. They were only on the field for 3 plays their prior series, Brock. Let's see what changes they make to take over here. Out with a 1st and 10. A pistol snap here, Rodgers. Pass taken in by Freiermuth. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up 2nd and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
2nd and 3 now. From the 34. Throw secured by George Pickett. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They managed 22 on the rip and a first down.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
Let's see how they attack this first down, Brock, from the 43. Blitz coming for Rodgers. This finds Austin complete. And he's marked down, looks like at the 32-yard line. Give him 11 yards, Brock, and a fresh set of downs.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
Trying an inside give to Warren. And he'll manage to get this one down to the 27. First down play, nets him 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5.
Fans love the long ball in baseball. It's like they got the home run derby, but you know what? Talk to managers, and they will tell you small ball can win too. Singles and doubles, you add them up, you could win a lot of baseball games. Football coaches will tell you, you get runs of that length, it may not be a home run, it may not score points, but it can do some serious damage.
Catch is made down the right sideline. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh! The Steelers take a second quarter lead. It's a DK Metcalf touchdown. So, Brock, this offense starting to find its rhythm a bit as they finish things with a touchdown there to give them the lead.
And the key word there that you said is finish, because you want to have that mindset, even early in the game, that field goals aren't going to cut it. So that's great work to make sure they finish with 6 points.
To add the PAT. Bad weather doesn't affect that extra point. It's good. And the Steelers break that tie and now lead by 7. Now Boswell on to send this away. Here's a return from the 7. Finds some space. He's past the 30. And great starting field position here as they bring him down beyond the 40. The Commanders and Terry McLaurin ready for another look on offense. It's a touchdown ball game right now, Brock. 14-7 as they start this possession. Not in a good spot this drive as they get set. 1st and 10. Drive starts with a quick throw left, complete. And this almost ended worse, but he gets a yard out of it. Metton stopped by Alex Highsmith. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. They'll give this up the middle to Etienne. And they're on him after about a 2-yard gain. Minkah Fitzpatrick in on the stop. A couple yards on the run. It's 3rd and 6 now.
When you don't have great success on first down, Kate, it's a little bit like a hitter in baseball falling behind in the count. And all you want to do as a hitter is get back to a fighting chance. Give yourself a better count. That play, well, it does the same here. Now a much more manageable and opportune 3rd down situation.
Able to get it to Moore. And he's officially into enemy territory now. And they're going to give him the opposing 49.
Those kind of completions are so frustrating, Kate. It's like a putt. You got it on line, you feel good about it's going in the hole, but you never want to leave it short.
Tressway on to punt. And he's going to try to give his defense a long field to defend. And he's certainly been staying busy. Once again, he's out to punt and sends this flying. The Steelers and Aaron Rodgers headed back out on offense. They really have the passing game clicking on that last touchdown drive, partner. We'll see if they stick with that or if they mix things up a bit on this series. 1st and 10. Slot receiver headed left. Hands it to the receiver here in motion. Oh, look at this sweep. And it'll be brought down along the 25-yard line. Halfway there on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Well, I know this. This staff loves the athleticism and versatility he brings to the offense. That's not only as a receiver, but as someone who can take occasional carries and turn them into good yards.
They send a tight end in motion. On 2nd down, Warren. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
What was supposed to move the chains, or at least make 3rd down easier to handle instead, well, did the exact opposite here, Kate. It now makes this 3rd down a whole lot trickier to figure out.
Commanders with an extra DB out there to defend this 3rd down. From the shotgun, Rodgers. And this one doesn't go far.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, when you can make a play in the open field, keep them short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
The Commanders are there, and they block it! And he goes down, but somehow, even with the block, they get a first down!
It really is a battle of speed on a punt, Kate. It's why every special teams coach get that clock during practice to time their punt, and why every defender knows just how much time they had to get home. What a tremendous effort to earn that block punt.
Out of the gun, a give to Etienne. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. Give him 5 on that carry, bringing up 2nd and 5.
Kate, I know you can see that smile on my face as we stand next to each other. Sure, I love that run. But I'm thinking about some great running backs. We've got Corey Dillon, who created a lot of negative grades on my play sheet because I didn't want to carry out no fake. I wanted to watch the damage he could do like we just saw.
And he's going to take it in for the Washington touchdown. The Commanders can tie it up in the 2nd after cutting into the lead. My partner up here is pumping his fist after that one. That is how you run an option as a quarterback. Good read to hang on to it and do it himself.
Yeah, because I could never do that, not even close. But when the defense overplays and you run that option, you get that good 2-on-1, more times than not, they will commit to the more dangerous guy, the running back. But you leave a lane, this quarterback can do some damage as well.
Gay to add the extra point. Got a good plant in the rain there. The extra point flies through. And the Commanders tie things up at 14. They handle the kickoff. Johnson with a return here. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Steelers offense headed out. First and 10. Rodgers here off the play action. Buying some time right. He's forward, gets a couple of yards. Play made by Deron Payne.
Just not much to do right there, whether he wanted to run it or throw it. Even if he scraped a positive gain out of it, that's still a win for this defense.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Warren running between the tackles. And not a lot of room for him as he's brought down. Just 1 yard on the play, though. That leaves him with 3rd down and 6 to go.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Rodgers throwing on 3rd down. Metcalf's got it, complete. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of 3rd downs just like that.
We've slated downs to approach here from the 40. Throwing on 1st down, Rodgers. Toward the sideline, and he's got Metcalf. And they'll have it across midfield as he runs out. The 46. Here's Rodgers on 1st and 10. Austin's there to haul it in. And they make this stop, we're going to say, at about the 37-yard line.
There's no routes on the old proverbial route tree, Kate, that takes more trust than throwing an out route. You're throwing it to a spot and believing your guy can get there.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. This ball's caught by Pickens. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. Give him 24 on that play. And he'll bring up a Pittsburgh 1st down.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. And a lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
First down, Rodgers. Targeting the sideline, and Freiermuth has it. And he'll head out of bounds after a short gain.
Sometimes when you're just looking to move it forward, get some small yards on a throw, quarterback's best friend, security blanket. And when it's a big old tight end, that's an extra bonus.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. They'll throw again, Rodgers. On the move, headed right. Now we're going to get an offensive timeout. That's their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Third and 7. Rodgers here from the gun. Almost had 6, but can't find him in the end zone. Incomplete. Thought he had a touchdown there. And that makes it 4th down.
QBs, well, they're a lot like the great shooters in the NBA. Hey, listen, sometimes you're going to miss. You just got to shake it off and keep shooting away.
Facing 4th down, the Steelers opting for the field goal. Chris Boswell out to do the honors. Dicker connects there. And they've taken back the lead.
Well, I know once that drive stalls out, that's where it really pays to have that reliable kicker on the sideline ready to bail you out. And he knocks that one right through to give him the lead.
Now Boswell on to send this away. This return starts at the 5. This return makes it up to the 25. The Commanders head out now late in the first half. And normally they'd need this out, Brock, but facing such a small deficit, good chance. 30 seconds left in the half as they come to the line. Back to throw, Mariota. Flushed out of the pocket. He'll step up, and there he goes. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down. The Commanders take a time. Escapes the pocket. Oh, he's keeping it again. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot. Washington calls it 2nd timeout. 1st and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. Back to throw, Mariota. Bails out of the pocket quick. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop it. Fine out. Trying again, following the sack. And that's incomplete. There's 7 seconds left. Time for 1, maybe 2 more snaps.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. So early movement from the backfield, Brock. They've jumped the gun a bit, and that brings out the flag.
Ball start. Offense.
There was a blitz coming, and that got somebody to panic and jump early. It cost him 5 yards.
Still 3rd down.
Penalty not helping their cause for this 3rd down. Looking to throw. And he just gets rid of this one, but unfortunately, that means 4th down coming up. So we arrive at halftime here in Pittsburgh. The Steelers leading after 2. Now it's down to Florida where Johnson now on the return. And it's a nice return here. They'll tackle him shy of the 35. Out comes Pittsburgh. Its offense has it to begin the 3rd quarter. And they really leaned on that passing game in the first half, Brock. Let's see if that emphasis continues to start the 3rd. Pressure comes, Rodgers. Completed over the middle. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options, Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
2nd and 6 coming up here. From the 38. He's on the move. He tucks it and takes off. He gets a little something out of it before sliding to a stop.
I love that play. I mean, that's quarterback 101. Nothing downfield, get what you can with your legs, but so much more importantly, protect yourself. Availability, one of the most important abilities for any quarterback.
It's Warren on 3rd down. And he'll be brought down a step or two shy of midfield. They're going to mark him at the 48. They get 6 and a 1st down as well.
I don't know what it is, Kate, but I love 3rd down runs. I really do. I know the receivers don't always like it because it's money down, they want the ball, but a 3rd down run for a 1st down can be so demoralizing to that defense.
1st down, and they go right back to it. And he takes it up and across midfield to Commanders territory. 1st down play nets him 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5.
A humble 5 to 6 yard gain on the ground. Not a huge gain, not a game-changing play by any means, but one that keeps you on schedule and takes some of the starch out of that front 7.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Working out of the gun, it's Rodgers. Short throw is dropped. This one's incomplete.
You know, the goal on a lot of these short throws is to simply let the receiver create some yards after the catch, that yak. Well, I think he was thinking about the yak before he actually secured the catch.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Rodgers to throw. That's caught for the 1st. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. It's a 23-yard pickup on the play. And that's a Steelers 1st down.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
They'll keep this drive moving and come to the line for 1st and 10. To throw is Rodgers. Into traffic, complete. And he has it down officially to the red zone at the 20.
You know, I often say there is a fine line between aggressiveness and carelessness. And when you throw into double coverage, well, it can go either way. That time, a tremendous catch by his receiver on the other end.
Shotgun handoff to Warren. And he'll make his way down to the 16-yard line. Give him 4 yards there, and they only need 1 more now on 3rd down.
You know, that's a good run right there. Keep the offense on schedule. If he can average that type of yards per carry, this guy's going to be more than all right with letting him lead the show.
3rd and 1. Now Rodgers. He has the 1st over the middle. And that's a Pittsburgh touchdown. Now in a close game, they needed somebody to make that type of play. Now it pushes their lead to a couple of scores and makes a comeback that much more difficult.
You know, Kate, their offense did its part and padded the lead. Now it's up to this defense to make this 2-score lead hold up and carry it across the finish line.
Extra point sent in through the rain. And the Steelers make it a 10-point ball game. Play. Samuel now to return it. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Out comes the Commander offense for another series. Their work really cut out for him now, partner, to follow up that touchdown and get things back to a 1-score game. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
As a play caller, Kate, I would always be a little cautious of a 1st down draw. I like it better when that defense is anticipating pass, while they were only anticipating getting the backfield and making that running back feel the pain.
Everyone's prepped. It's second down now. Inside handoff goes to Etienne. Room to work at the 35. And all the way up to the 42-yard line before he stopped. They pick up 20 yards there. And the Commanders will have a first.
No frills, nothing fancy. That was just a good old offensive line dominated in the trenches. And that sprung him to get to the second level and beyond.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. And he's brought down for a loss.
Sometimes the surprises work out for a nice game. And sometimes, well, those surprises, they don't surprise anybody, and you're left hoping your running back just gets up.
Offense to the line for second down. Throwing now from the gun. Has him on the quick hitter. And they push this down to the opposing 47-yard line. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the first.
Good offenses. Okay, good play callers know how to utilize their personnel. They know where they wanted them. They wanted them on a route in space where he could make that initial play comfortably, but then go to work after.
Short side option here. He's running left. And they make this stop. We're going to say it about the 37-yard line.
Not that he needed to, but he'll always try and remind people that he's a threat running it, in addition to slinging it all over the field.
Let's see what they want to do here, partner. It's 2nd and inches. Here's Etienne on the give. And he'll get this down to the 33-yard line. It's a 4-yard gain, and that's going to get him across the marker and earn the first.
That's certainly a spot where you could be more aggressive, Kate, if you wanted to take your shots. But some coaches, even the bolder ones, will take the safe play first when they get it from time to time. No third down required now.
Throwing is Mariota. And he's just going to get rid of this one. Smart move there when he saw the field. It's going to be second down. Mariota to throw. This is hauled in by McLaurin. And he's brought down at the 17-yard line. He finds him 16 yards and a new set of downs.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
For 1st and 10. From the red zone now. And they will score. Touchdown, Washington. The Commanders start the second half with some needed points. All right, partner, what do you think? Was that a design read, or did he just see space and he was reacting more on the old quarterback instinct there?
Yes. I think yes on both of them, and that play happens so fast that it really is instincts on both sides.
Bad weather doesn't affect that extra point. It's good. And the Commanders cut it to a field goal game. It's away. Just a 3-point game now. Patterson now to return it. He stopped on the return at the 27. The Steelers headed back out on offense. Their quarterback returning to the field now. And this is some quality film review right here. Look at this. Couple of touchdowns, good amount of yards, too. He's been moving them down the field like only he can, putting together quite the game for himself in the process. The 1st and 10. Rodgers set to pass. Caught by Freiermuth. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
Yeah, I love that effort, adding as much as possible to that catch while earning the first down. That's called yards after catch, and it's what coaches want from all their pass catchers on the roster.
Only one play in, Brock, and this drive already to midfield. First down throw by Rodgers. Escapes the pocket. He can run it.
You know, Kate, they always say that QB clock. You know what it's more like? It's more like an alarm, especially in a situation like that. And it's a good thing you woke up to it, able to make something out of nothing and at least keep them moving forward.
2nd and 3 now. Blitz coming for Rodgers. Freiermuth there to bring it in. And he'll be brought down at about the 29. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
All right, set now, 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Rodgers. Won't make the play on that one. It hits the deck, incomplete. His first target doesn't lead to his first catch. And now they face 2nd down.
Hey, I know nobody's perfect, and all you have to do is listen to me and how many words I screw up. But you certainly expect those throws of that length to be 100%. They've got to be borderline automatic in this offense.
On the ground with Warren. And he gets it forward to still about a yard out of that. Brought down by the future Hall of Famer, Bobby Wagner. Only a yard from that time, so now 3rd and 9.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
Rodgers throwing on 3rd down. Rolling left, trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop him. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down. A touchdown aside in that frame as we run out of time in the 3rd quarter. It's the Steelers with the ball. They're leading, but not by a lot. So here's Chris Boswell in a high-pressure spot. He was money on his first field goal, Brock. His second coming a little inside of 50 yards. Flying down the heart of the lane, and it's good! And now their lead will push out beyond the field goal.
So after that make, a field goal won't cost them a lead, but a touchdown still ties it, or likely probably puts them down a point. Okay, this is one of those moments where the defense now has clarity. They know what the stakes are and what they have to defend.
Play. Samuel now to return it. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. The Commanders all set to regain possession. They'll try to emphasize what worked on their last drive, which ended, Brock, in a touchdown. Here's Mariota now. Has a man, it's Ertz. And he'll take it up to the 30 before being brought down. And the hit stops him cold. Wow, he maybe got back to the line. No gain on the play, and it leaves them with 3rd and 5.
He's lucky to get back to the line. I think he knows it, too. That play was in trouble early with how well the defense, Kate, read it from the beginning. And he did his best just to get back and break even.
Shotgun now on 3rd down. Flushed out of the pocket. He'll make a bid for it on the ground. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a first down.
You know, before the snap, right before the snap, you may have to take off if the read isn't there. That was a great adjustment made at the perfect time for the first down.
New slated downs to approach here from the 40. An option give here to Etienne. And the middle holds. They don't get anything on the run. No gain there that time, and it's 2nd and 10.
Big man up front said, not in my house. Let me tell you, Kate, once you're in the grasp of one of those big old fellas on the D-line, you're done. They would say it on the East Coast like this: it's over. Over.
Etienne gets it on the draw. And this is going to be a short carry that just reaches the 40. Give him a yard back on the play. Now it's 3rd and 10.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
3rd and long for him here. Complete beyond the marker. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They get 22 on that one. And that'll be good for a Washington first.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine, because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
New set of downs for him at the 38. Motioning one of the tight ends. From the gun, Etienne gets it. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. Now Mariota. Out to his wideout, it's a screen. And he's tackled for a short gain.
How's your block shedding out there, boys? Because they need to get through some blocks to hang that screen up quickly. And they were Johnny on the spot.
3rd and 10. Can this offense get it done? Back to throw. Mariota bails out of the pocket quick. He's running for it. And he's able to drive this to the 29 before the stop.
Oh, man, those defensive players hate slipping quarterbacks. Near impossible to keep them hedged in or corral them behind the line there. He evades them long enough to turn a potential loss into positive yardage.
Offense staying out there. It's 4th and 1. He's going to run for it. It's an option right. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
They had the first down by a comfortable margin right there. Remember that play call. Put that one away. Could be a money play for them the next time they're in a similar spot.
An early jump and the flags come in. I think this is going to go against the defense.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense.
Broke the plane before the snap, and that's going to give the offense some free yardage.
Still first down.
Let's see. Running it after the penalty. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
You gain that kind of yardage in the run game, and you're going to gain the trust of your offensive coordinator. Plays like that, runs like that, set the table for everything else in the playbook.
1st and goal. They've got 4 chances to tie this one up. They'll run. Etienne. And that play is brought to a halt, they're going to say, at the 5-yard line. This is going to go as a pickup of 4. 2nd and goal coming up.
Hey, I get it on 1st and goal, right? A lot of teams like to be conservative and limit risk. Even if a run is stopped short, you still got 2, sometimes 3 downs to play with.
Changing things up. They're going to throw now. And the Steelers get home. They drop him. And that sack going to cost them some yardage.
Bend. Even good defenses, great defenses in this league, Kate, they're going to bend at times, but you never want to break. And when you get a sack in the red zone, well, that goes a long ways to helping your efforts.
So now, here's 3rd and goal. He'll throw it. Has it down close. And that's a Washington touchdown. So he looks to and finds the big fella, and his tight end takes it in for 6.
Such a reliable weapon down in the red zone. You know, kind of reminds me like a point guard making an entry pass to that post player. When you trust your big people around you, and when a quarterback trusts his tight end like that, it makes a difference.
They have this try now to put them in front late. And he comes through on the kick to give him the lead here in the 4th quarter. Patterson now to return it. This return makes it up to the 25. Pittsburgh getting its offense all set to go. They find themselves down here in the 4th after that touchdown. This game could end up depending on how they respond right here. Working out of the gun, it's Rodgers. Pass taken in by Freiermuth. And they're going to bring him down just beyond the 30 at the 31.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for on 1st down. Textbook. It sets up 2nd and very manageable, and then creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. From the 31. Hits his tight end on the corner route. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They get 28 out of that play. And he'll bring up a Pittsburgh 1st down.
Just about every defensive coordinator worth his salt says 2 things in every production meeting. Number 1, well, we got to stop the run. And number 2, we got to take away the tight end. Well, good luck doing that. Defending a big guy who can move like that, it's a lot easier to talk about than to go out and execute.
Throwing on 1st down, Rodgers. Austin's there to haul it in. And he gets a gain of 9, and that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. It's 2nd and 1. Warren here from the gun. And he's able to drive this to the 29 before the stop. A pickup of 2, maybe 3, but most importantly, Brock, that's enough to move the sticks.
You know what I like about a 2nd and short run play, Kate? Yeah, I like getting a 1st down, but you know what I like even more? That's going to set up a play action pass in a similar down and distance, and that defense is going to have to key on the run.
Going to the ground again on 1st. And that run very short, only getting to the 27. They'll go again with Warren. And they bring him down at the 18-yard line. Timeout taken by the defense. They're 2nd. Warren once more. And he has it down to the 8-yard line on the play. Final timeout taken by the Commanders. And they are quite frustrated having to call that after giving up the 1st. They're going to try for the touchdown first here and goal to go. Setting up to pass. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. So what a finish this is shaping up to be. The late touchdown here, Brock, moves them in front.
And week to week, what a pleasure it is for us to call these games. We never know what kind of game we're going to get. This one's been everything you could have wanted. And now, even though they've taken the lead, there's still enough time on that other sideline for them to go mount a response.
He's on the move. And he reaches the end zone, so they'll be up to a 7-point lead. Well, that right there was a beautiful bit of short field artistry, partner, netting them a couple more points following the touchdown.
I love that word, artistry, because that's what you are as a quarterback, right? You have got to sometimes create a picture when there is none there. And this QB, more than capable of doing it, that just so infuses everyone around you with so much confidence, because it didn't have to be perfect. He could scramble and still find a way to create one heck of a beautiful painting.
On to send this away. Returning it from the 4. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Commanders are headed back out there now, led by Marcus Mariota. And on that last drive, Brock, he crossed a notable threshold in passing yards for the season. Always nice when you can reach one of those plateaus to look back on after the year's over. He'll look to throw it. He gets this one to McLaurin. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a first down.
The Commanders in the hurry-up. They're hustling for the line. Back to throw. Into the hands of Samuel, complete. And he'll get it up to the 44.
This is one of those kind of win-win situations. Both sides feel good. As an offense, I get a completion. I get a win. As a defense, I keep everything in front of me. I make the tackle for a short gain. I get a win, too. Sometimes you can get to win-win.
Clock working against him here as they hurry to that line. He just throws this one away.
You know, Kate, that was one of those situations where you hear a quarterback having a clock, right? You know, and he had enough time in the pocket, but then it was like, okay, time is running out, and I got to do something. He did not force a throw and risk a pick. Instead, he just got rid of it and cut his losses.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got third down. Looking to throw it. Great work by the coverage downfield, buys him enough time to catch him outside the pocket. To make a check in the win column for the Steelers. And there was no easing up. It took some white knuckling until the very end, but their defense carried that small lead through to the finish line as they escape with the victory. That does it for another broadcast of the NFL on EA Sports. With my partner in the booth, Brock Huard, I'm Kate Scott. The Steelers are winners as we say so long from Pittsburgh.